He picked up the Bible again that night. The weight of it was different now. Not the weight of accusation, but of anticipation. He was early 40s, medium brown skin, short black hair beginning thin at the temples, faint stubble lining a jaw that clenched too many sleepless nights. His eyes were tired, yet alert, holding the kind of wariness that comes from having faced your own failures. He wore a plain, dark t-shirt, faded jeans, and sat cross-legged on the floor, the lamp beside him casting a small circle of light over the open pages. As soon as he began to read, the familiar sensation returned. The Bible wasn't just a book. It was a presence. Each sentence seemed to lean toward him, not politely, but insistently, like a friend who refuses to leave until you answer the truth you've been avoiding. It spoke of sin, of pride, of fear, of hope, and in every story, in every verse, he could see himself mirrored back. Abraham's hesitation, David's desire, Peter's denial, all of it read like a chronicle of his own hidden heart. He had thought he was reading history, but it was him history was reading. The first passage that truly unsettled him was a verse about fear. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. It was simple, almost mundane, yet it landed like a hammer. He had spent decades fearing the wrong things, fearing judgment, fearing failure, fearing that it had already been abandoned. And there it was, simple, unflinching, claiming him anyway. The thought hit him harder than any argument, any philosophy, any motivational quote he had ever clung to. Fear had been a lie he believed about himself, not about God. He read on, and the Bible became less a text and more a confrontation. Every story, every parable, every letter demanded a response. It wasn't about what he thought. It was about what he would do. It was uncomfortable. He stumbled over passages about loving enemies, about humility, about mercy. His natural instincts rebelled. He wanted to argue, to rationalize, to skip ahead, but the words seemed to anticipate every evasive thought. He could not hide, not even from the page. Hours passed, though he didn't notice. The world outside, the noise of daily life, ceased to exist. The Bible did not promise him comfort. It promised clarity. It promised that if he looked long enough, honestly enough, he could no longer escape himself. And slowly, he began to understand that the discomfort was a kind of grace, a grace that didn't pat him on the back, but stripped away pretense, revealing what was raw and real. He was tired of masks. The Bible refused them, and then came the verse that stopped him completely. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him, and he with me. He lowered the book, staring at the wall, heart pounding. He had spent years barricading himself with cynicism, with reason, with ego, and here was an invitation he could neither ignore nor explain. No one else could answer for him. No argument could shield him. If he wanted the life this verse promised, it required him. Not the world, not tradition, not comfort, but him. He closed the Bible slowly, as if letting go of fear itself. And in the stillness, he realized the truth he had been avoiding all along. Reading the Bible wasn't about learning something new. It was about facing what had always been there, deep in his heart, and finally letting it breathe. Every verse became a mirror, every story a doorway, every promise a challenge. He understood, in a way that terrified him, that salvation was not abstract. It was active. It was living. It required attention, obedience, and humility. He leaned back, exhausted, trembling slightly, aware that his life could never be the same. For the first time in decades, he felt naked before God, and for the first time he didn't recoil. Fear had been replaced with strange, fragile hope, a hope that required nothing from him except to continue reading, to continue responding, to continue letting the text work like a scalpel for the layers of pride and lies he had built around himself. As dawn broke, the pale light of morning creeping into his apartment, he felt something new, quiet certainty. Not certainty of answers, not certainty that life would be easy, not certainty that he would always understand, but certainty that he was being known, guided, and held through everything, that the Bible, in all its complexity, all its honesty, all its power, was not a threat, not a challenge he would fail to meet, but a companion he could finally trust to lead him. He whispered aloud, though no one was there, "I hear you." And this time, it was not a question. It was a decision, a choice to keep reading, to keep responding, to keep letting the truth shape him quietly, steadily, permanently. The Bible would continue to test him. It would continue to challenge him. But now, he would meet it with openness, courage, and understanding. He closed the Bible, placed it gently on the table, and stood. The morning light fell across the pages, soft and unwavering. He looked out the window at the city awakening, and for the first time, he felt a mature, unshakable peace. Not because everything had changed, but because he had changed. Not because the world was resolved, but because he was. And in that moment, he understood what it meant for the Bible to matter deeply, fully, and irrevocably. He had read, he had listened, and he had been transformed.